getting darker by the second right here, man. Yeah. Oh man, man, this is cold beer. I know moms and dads are here. This is a big family occasion. You know what? It just kind of reminds me. Just coming to visit you guys here in Southern California is really just like I grew up in a town just south of San Francisco called South San Francisco, and it was cool because we were like the only Filipino family on the block, and it's tough because we didn't know our identity very well. Being the only Filipino kids on the block was tough because we had to explain ourselves all the time, and we didn't get the definition right. Rex, what are you? Rex, I'm trying to figure out what you are. My mom wanted me to ask you, what are you? Your hair is too wavy to be Chinese. Your skin is too dark to be Korean. And you all have Mexican last names. What happened to your people? I don't know. It happened. Just stuff happens, man. And it's tough, especially when you got those immigrant parents, when who don't haven't yet embraced self-love and identity when it comes to just how we look, because being out here in the sun back in the 70s and 80s, you get no more allowance if you come home dark, right? There's no allowance. You can't even buy sunblock. Because my sister would come home a little darker because she was on the soccer team. She was on the soccer team, and she would come home a little darker than the day before. After practice, she would come home a little darker. And my mom was not having it. My mom was pissed. Joy, you're so dark. Joy. Joy, you're so dark. Joy, oh, there you are. Joy, stop hiding in the shadows. You're parang camouflage. Joy, you're too dark. Joy, look at your skin. You're so dark. Joy, you're too dark. No one will marry you, Joy. No one will marry you. Not even a blind man will marry you because you're darker than what he already cannot see. Joy, you're too dark. Joy. That don't happen now, right? We're all good, right? But it was tough. It was tough, especially for Filipina girls. Especially when they had play dates back in the day, when my sister's friends would come over with Barbie dolls that looked just like them. So you can go to Toys R Us and find a Barbie doll that looked like you, but not back in the day. No. So when her white friends came over, they brought over the Barbie dolls, the blonde hair and the white skin and the blue eyes because they looked like her. And when the black friends came over, brought over their Barbie dolls with the long, curly black hair and the ebony skin and the brown eyes because they looked like her, right? And then my sister, what was her doll? Brown paper bag. It was a brown paper bag with one eye, Cyclops. But that's messed up, right? Because especially when I felt bad for her. So what did the big Kuya Rex do? What did Kuya Rex do? I made her a Barbie. Started from scratch. I took a white Barbie doll, ironed the hair flat, took out those waves, right? Took some of my dad's light brown kiwi shoe polish. Rubbed it into that skin, get that nice morena glow, huh? Took some brown paint, dipped it into those blue eyes, get the deep puddles of brown. Hell yeah, right? Took that Barbie by the legs, almost done. Took that Barbie by the legs, smashed her face to the floor, well, bang! So she can get that Filipina nose. It's all in the wrist. It's all in the wrist. I used my arm one time, she came out Samoan. Too hard, Rex. Too hard. And that's messed up. We didn't have no money. See, my parents working 2 jobs. They saved their money for something really important. Reno, and didn't want to put it back into to the house, right? Because we need toys just like every other kid, right? We need toys. But there was no budget, so when my friends come over and brought over their action figures, there was no toy. I didn't have any action figures, so I had to go around the house, look for something for my play date that looked like an action figure. Hell yeah, right? And then when my white friend came over, Brian, he brought over his, Rex, look at this, my daddy, he got me this G.I. Joe doll with the fuzzy hair and combat boots and a kung fu grip. Now my black friend James can, Rex, check this out. My daddy, he got me this Muhammad Ali doll, right? And he got a robe, but if you press his back, he can move his arms back and forth. What kind of doll you got in your hand, Rex? What kind of doll is that? This is the Santo Niño. The Filipino Christ child action figure. He has a cape, glider, he can fly. He has a power helmet. He can create the force field of love. In his left hand, he has a big explosive bomb with the detonator key. And in his right hand, he knows kung fu pressure points. And when he's not fighting his arch enemy, Satan Niño, his most special power is he can die for your sins and come back on the third day. Come on, that's wrong. My mom is like one of the most ultra-Catholic Filipino moms. You know, she hates that joke because that was real. It was real. You know, she like panicked every time the Santo Niño was missing. Rex, where's the Santo Niño? Where's the Santo Niño? We have a Santo Niño prayer group at 4 o'clock. Rex, why is the Santo Niño in the bathtub with scuba gear? Because Aquaman is a heretic and he's trying to convert him. If you didn't laugh at that, you're going to heaven. It's too late for me. I'm in the 12 items or less line. Nice, thank you so much. This is fun to come back and just like hang out with you guys. I am gonna be at the John Lovett's Comedy Club October 28th and 29th. So tell everybody it's gonna be really fun. And what else is going on? So like I said, I was just in the Philippines just like last month. I'm gonna be going back in November, but this is trippy. Now I get to go to the Philippines on my terms. It's nice to go there for work, do my thing, come back home, you know. But remember back in the day, guys, when you had to go to the Philippines against your will? Remember, I don't know, you guys here in Southern Cal, pretty much the same story, but that's kids up at NorCal. You know, when summer came around, we got our season passes for the amusement park, right? For Six Flags, right? And I'm looking forward to going every weekend, maybe every other day. The Great America up in NorCal. Hell yeah, I got my pass. But no. My mom comes into my room with my favorite drink. Rex, try this. These are delicious mango beverage. Delicious. This is so delicious. This is that from concentrate. You try this mango beverage. It's like, okay, I love mango. Hell yeah. Love it. Delicious. Pass out. I passed out. I don't know what was in it. I passed out. When I woke up, I was on the plane with my passport hanging around my neck. You too? Alright. That's not vacation, that's abduction. Hell yes, I hate those long trips to the Philippines, especially when you're like 11, 12 years old and you get paid. So no, remember when you land in the Philippines? Everybody from the barangay, the entire town is waiting for you. There's nowhere to sit on the jeepney. There's nowhere to sit down, right? You always got, and then the jeepney is like, I love the jeepneys of the Philippines, right? Don't you guys love them, huh? Aren't they driven by the most macho men in the world? The most macho men in the world. Yet they paint their jeepneys the gayest colors of the universe. I love it. I love that dichotomy. It's amazing, you know. And they have the whole, you know, the whole bobblehead collection of the Last Supper on the dashboard. It's amazing. It's not Vatican approved, but it's amazing. And then making it up to the province. I hate the long, bumpy ride to the province. It's horrible. No aircon. No aircon. You want to turn on the aircon? You drive faster. And that's it. Right? So when you see my parents, my parents are both from Tagalog regions. They're from Cavite and Batangas, and Cavite, Batangas, Tagalogs, provinces. It's so remote. When we got there, Japanese soldiers were still shooting at us. That's how remote. They didn't get the flyers from the sky. It gets. So, and then you gotta stay at your auntie's house, just the part I hate. You're 11, 12 years old, and you're supposed to be exposed to the Philippines and the greatness of our culture and our people, but no, you gotta stay at your rich auntie's house. It's not even a house, it's a compound. Right? It's a compound with a 20-foot wall around the compound, and they don't have guard dogs, no security system, no motion detectors. They just have broken glass and quick dry cement.